One of the most ugliest characteristics in a man in the context of a relationship with the opposite sex is passivity. A man who is passive cannot lead well in a relationship with the opposite sex. My name is Ernest Wamboye and you are watching CITAM Church Online. One of the most frustrating characteristics of a man in the context of a relationship with the opposite sex is passivity. A man who is passive when relating with a woman will more likely frustrate her and be the death of her. What do I mean by passivity? Let's look at the beginning. The first man, Adam. Adam was given a responsibility by God to take care of the garden. He was given a responsibility to not eat the fruit that is in the middle of the garden. And he was given a responsibility to have dominion over all the earth. Now, this is before Eve came into the picture. And we're given Adam in the context of him as a single man being given all these instructions by God. And then Eve comes much later. And it is almost expected for Adam to pass on these truths to Eve. So, what can a man do in the context of relationships to avoid being passive? One, he must understand that God has given him the mandate to lead. When a man is quiet when things are going wrong, he will frustrate the people around him. When he gets married and has children, he will not be able to parent them appropriately. Now, someone may be thinking, Ernest, but not all men are active. What do you mean by passivity? Some of our personalities are mellow. Some of us are phlegmatic, melancholic. Now, I'll tell you this. Passivity has nothing to do with your personality or your temperament. Passivity has everything to do with being assertive and being directive and making the decisions at the right time. You can be a very active and outgoing person but still be passive. So I'm going to show you two forms in which passivity manifests in a man. Step number one, or rather passivity number one, is when a man speaks a lot, talks about all the ideas he's gonna do, talks about all the things he's gonna do, but doesn't do them at all. And Jesus even gave an example of these two boys who were told by their father to go plow the land, and one of them said he would, but then didn't go, but the other said he wouldn't do, but then went and did it. And the one who did it is the one who is actually esteemed. Now you must realize, men, that our words don't make us capable, our words make us accountable. And if we want to lead appropriately in relationships with the opposite sex, we must put our money where our mouths are. And so it's one thing to say something, but it's another thing to go ahead and do it. Passive men act, passive men give direction. The second form of passivity is the man who does not speak and does not act. Now, from the onset, this looks like a macho man. He looks like he's in control. He looks like he knows where things are going, and he doesn't offer any direction at the same time. He looks like he's just thinking about it. But it is as equally frustrating. In as much as your personality may be mellow, you must offer direction in a relationship. A man is the one to determine how far the relationship will go. Do you want to marry this lady? It is you to set the agenda. How long do you want to date? It is you to set the agenda. And it is up to you to sell this vision to the lady that you are bringing into your life. Now, God himself demonstrates activeness. God himself demonstrates strength. He demonstrates a lack of passivity. He did something about our sin. He came down, died on the cross for our sins so that we would have a second chance. God himself is not a passive God. And so if you just sit back, quiet, and don't do anything about the problems around you, especially in the context of a relationship, you will realize when it gets time to settle down, when it gets time to get married, you'll realize that there will be a lot of things that are going on, and your woman will not look up to you for direction. She will look up to other men. A woman must look up to her man for direction in a relationship. When you get married, there are consequences to that. When you ignore the needs of your family, when you ignore the direction your family is meant to take, there will be consequences to that. And one of those consequences, especially if you're not sensitive to your wife, we are told in the book of 1 Peter chapter 3, is that the Lord will not hear our prayers. We must be active in everything that we do. The opposite of passivity is not aggressiveness, as many of you may think. The opposite of passivity is assertiveness. You must be assertive. You must ask yourself, what is the direction your relationship needs to take? And then you must take it seriously and with the passion that God has put inside of you. Thank you for watching. My name is Ernest Wamboye. If you want to connect with us more, please just check out the contacts at the bottom of your screen. Would like to hear from you. Please send us any questions and we'd be happy to answer them in our next video. My name is Ernest Wamboye and you are watching CITAM, Church Online.